Hey everyone, so I am back with another video, and I thought that since I've done a lot of fall videos lately, I'd kind of continue on with that theme and show you my favorite fall blushes. Now I am a huge blush fan. If I could only pick one makeup product to wear for the rest of my life, I would definitely choose blush. I find it pulls a whole look together. I love a bright pop of color or even just a subtle color on the cheek, and I just find that I look better when I'm wearing blush. So when I was going through my collection and picking out sort of the fall colors I usually love to wear, these are, not any really new favorites. These are favorites I've had at least for the last year, some of them for the last maybe 3 years. I noticed that there was kind of a theme with the different fall blushes that I have. There's different categories. So we have like our nudes, more of our neutral colors. Then I have sort of my berry purple colors, and finally I have red, sort of rusty brown type colors. So I will get started and start with the nude category and show you my first blush. So the first blush I have is one that I have shown you recently on this channel. I've blogged about it many times. It's one of my all-time favorite blushes. I do like to use this blush any time of the year, but I find it looks amazing for fall, and I have found myself reaching for it a lot more now that the fall weather is basically here. And it is one of the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes in the color Exposed. It's a matte, really nice neutral light brown with pink undertones. This looks amazing on any skin color. I like to use this as both a blush on the apples of my cheek, but also sometimes as more of a contour color under my cheekbones, a little bit on my temples. Because I am so pale and this doesn't have any of those sort of muddy orange undertones to it, I find it looks really nice on me, or works really nicely on me as a contour. If you haven't tried any of the Amazonian Clay blushes, they are a must-have, and I would definitely recommend starting with this one because it is so versatile and it does look so good on so many people. So the next blush I have in sort of the nude neutral category is this one right here, and it is from NYX, and it is in the color Raisin. Again, it's a matte, sort of a neutral brown. This one is a bit dustier, and it does have colder, more purple undertones to it rather than the pinker undertones from the Tarte Exposed blush. This one you could use as a contour color as well, but I would be really careful. Being extremely pale and having this kind of a colder, muddier color, I do find that if I were to contour with it, it sometimes just looks too fake. It gets kind of ruddy on the face, and it's not something that just looks great on me. So if you are going to use this as a contour color, I would just be kind of careful. What I do like to use it as is just a regular blush color, apples of the cheeks swept a little bit back. It just gives the face a really nice neutral look. I really like using these sort of nude and neutral tones. Just trying to find where the other one is, show you. When I'm doing sort of a more dramatic eye, a more dramatic look, just to kind of tone down the face but still add a little bit of color and definition to it, these are the sort of blushes that I like to use. So to start off with my sort of purple berry toned category, the first blush I have to show you is one of my all-time favorite blushes, and definitely in my top 3 fall blush category, and it is a NARS blush in the color Sin, and it is gorgeous. Again, berry toned, brown undertones to it. Looks more sort of cool in the pan, but when you apply it to the cheeks, it actually warms up the cheeks quite nicely and has almost a pink undertone to it, although you don't really notice it in the pan. It does have a lot of silver shimmer to it, and I'm not usually a fan of shimmer, but I really don't notice it when I apply it to the cheeks. As I've mentioned before, I find that really shimmery blushes, if you don't have perfect skin with no pores, it just doesn't really look that great. When I have larger pores, they just show, and it just doesn't make your face and your skin look as nice or as flawless as a matte blush. But like I said, I really don't notice this one drawing any attention to imperfections, and I just find, because it looks so cool in the pan, but it's kind of warmer on the cheeks, that it works nicely with a variety of looks. Next in the berry category is one from MAC, and I'm not 100% sure if this is limited edition. I don't think it is. I think you can still get it in stores. I think it's a permanent color. And it is one of the MAC Mineralized blushes in the color Gentle. Now this is everything I usually hate in a blush. There's a lot of shimmer to it. It's got kind of a frosty finish, but for some reason I absolutely love this blush. I always forget I have it until the fall comes and I'm kind of searching through my drawer, and it's always tucked in the back, and then I end up being like, why haven't I used this in so long? I love this blush. Again, sort of berry toned, a lot of pink undertones to it, a little bit of purple. And even though it has all that shimmer, I don't know, I've never noticed that it draws a lot of attention to my imperfections. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I would definitely say this is one of my favorite MAC blushes and by far my favorite mineralized blush. I'm not a huge fan of all the mineralized blushes from MAC because I do find them to be chunky almost, like very glittery, but this one I don't find that, and I definitely think it should be a staple in your collection if you have been looking for any really good berry MAC blushes. So next up is another Amazonian clay blush, and this is in the color Flush. Gorgeous. It's just this really bright, deep berry tone purple with heavy, heavy, heavy pink undertones to it. It is as bright as it looks in the pan. It is highly pigmented, so it's the sort of blush you need to be really careful when applying. I like to just dab my blush brush in it very lightly, tap off all the excess powder, and just, again, sort of dabbing rather than doing a whole swirly thing on your cheek, just keeping it light. If not, you're gonna look like a crazy person with bright, bright cheeks. All of these blushes, like I said, are super pigmented, and this is the sort of thing that, like, I am never going to use this up. I will have this still if I don't throw it out before on the day I die. There's just a lot of product, and because it is so pigmented, you only need a tiny, tiny, tiny bit when you are applying it. Well, I would have to say that Exposed is definitely my favorite Amazonian clay blush. Flush comes in a very, very close second, and as I keep saying over and over again, if you have yet to try the Amazonian clay blushes, they really, really are worth the price, and I honestly don't think you'll be disappointed. And here's just kind of a look at the two side by side. And the last sort of purple toned berry blush that I have is from Illamasqua, and it is in the color Thrust, I believe. On the back of the package, there's an area that says color, quotation mark, and then there's nothing filled in. So I don't know if I just got a package that didn't have the color written in, but I have looked it up, and I believe that it is Thrust because it is the one that looks the most similar. So this is a scary looking blush. Unlike the Flushed one, which is also frightening looking, it doesn't have those sort of warmer pink undertones. It has a lot more blue, cool undertones to it, and you have to be extremely careful when you apply this, just like the Flush one, because it is so crazy pigmented. I'm a huge, huge fan of all of the Illamasqua blushes. I might like them even a little bit more than my Tarte Amazonian clay blushes. They are so pigmented. They will last you forever. They're soft, they're creamy, they're just, you gotta see it to believe it, and you will realize if you have one how amazing they are. So the last two blushes I have to show you are from the sort of red rust family, and the first one is a powder blush, and it is again by NARS, and it is in the color Dolce Vita. This would probably, along with Sin, make my top 3 fall blushes. I absolutely love this. It gives you that perfect, just been out in the cold weather, just did like a light jog, but I'm not sweaty, sort of flush to the cheek. It looks nice paired with a variety of eye looks, a variety of lip looks. If you want to do sort of a nude lip and just very light neutral eye, this looks great, but if you want to do a bolder eye and a crazy vampy lip, this still looks good. It doesn't look too over the top. It's a matte blush. It does look like it has a little bit of shimmer, but you totally, totally do not see that when it's transferred onto the cheek. It's just gorgeous overall. So the last blush I have is a cream blush. It's actually a cream blush slash cream lipstick, but I only use it as a blush. It is from Stila, and it is one of their convertible colors in the color Poppy. This is probably, if not the first cream blush I picked up, one of the first cream blushes I picked up. It's this deep red, brown undertones to it. Quite frightening looking if you were to straight up swatch this and just pile it on your cheek, but it looks really nice sheared out, and I like to put this under the NARS Dolce Vita, and they just look super pretty together. Just give you that, like I say, nice rosy flush, just perfect for fall. Now the only thing I will say about these is they are somewhat sticky, and so application usually for me works better with a synthetic haired brush rather than my fingers, just because I find if you use your fingers it tends to kind of like get stuck like more pigment gets stuck in different places. So yes, I definitely like to use a brush with this, but it is a really nice color and probably the only cream blush that I would consider a fall favorite. With cream blushes, I tend to use them a lot more during summer. I have a lot more sort of bright neon colors, so this is definitely good for fall. So that is it for all of my favorite fall blushes. Be sure to leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've tried any, if you want to try any, and if you have any great recommendations on a fall blush. As I've said, I absolutely love blush. I'm always looking for new ones. And chances are, if you tell me about a really great one, I'm going to go check it out, and I'm probably going to end up purchasing it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!